Morton freaking Tildum. Hello everybody, what is up? It is Ro with another video. Welcome back, people of Earth. What is up? Happy Friday! Friday means new episode Defending Jacob. Episode 5 of Defending Jacob just dropped. Okay, let's get into it. Let's review this. First things first, cinematography, check. There's so many beautiful shots in this episode, just like every other episode. Music, checked. That selection, man. Not just the score, but the songs that they try to put in the soundtrack is just on freaking point. We're still strong in the technical aspects, guys, and we're 5 freaking episodes in. Episode 5 has a really big banging opening. It's informing us about 5 things with literally no dialogue. Just the power in the music, the power in the shots, in the close-up of the people's faces, in their attitude, in their demeanor, and everything. He uses the music's power, and he really does not want to say that much, yet he's saying a lot without even having dialogue. I mean, just how they open up with the kids' chorus and the choir, and along with that, I love the little things he adds in, just those little moments. From like Jacob and Andy going fishing, to Lori looking at her Instagram on her phone and seeing all these parents posting that their kid just graduated, and then we have a shot to Jacob studying with his tutor because he can't go to school and graduate along with all his classmates. We still have the slowness, guys. This show is very slow paced, but there's so much suspense in this slowness. I mean, it's done on purpose because oh my gosh, when Ben's mom walks up to the podium, I was holding on to my breath. I was like, okay, time is ticking. I hear her heels on the ground and gosh, can she move faster because I want to know what she has to say. But it's not like, okay, get on with it kind of attitude. No. It's taking its time intensifies that suspense. So that's a very nice way of taking that. We also get to take a couple breathers. I really loved how when Lori goes into the market, it's another paradox, like every little thing is gonna be all right. Song is playing in the background. She's like, oh my God, yeah, okay. And then she kind of starts in a way not caring anymore, not having this weight on her back, and she's like dumping all this happy food. I love the shot first we see is like celebrating with anyone, celebrating with a big crowd, and it's a bunch of cakes, enough for like 8 to 12 people, and she's like, yeah, well, that's not happening to me. But then as the song keeps going and the song gets louder and now it's the official background music, she's like dancing. She's like, you know what, throw in the cupcakes, throw in the plates, you know, maybe I'll invite Sarah, you know, because Sarah's like the only friend right now hanging out with Jacob. That's a big part of like breathing, along with when I mentioned about Andy and Jacob going fishing. You know, it's little breathers in through this whole tense situation that this family is going through. Now the spit take, guys, this is different from in the book, I'll tell you that. I'm happy that they put it in because when I read that in the book, I was like, she did not just do that in public. She spit in her face. It's so funny how we get a little bit of breathing and then a minute we're like, okay, we choked. Now we're back to like being tense. Like we see Ben's mom there. Out of all the people at 6 in the morning, Ben's mom had to be there. She's like, oh my gosh, she's celebrating when her son is being charged with my son's murder, and then she spits in her face. It's different in the book, actually. Andy and Jacob are there with her. One big thing about episode 5, things are done different, okay? And I just mentioned one that's already done different, which is the spit take. One thing I'm very confused in first was the cutting room. So I'm not sure if Logidus,
oh my God, why can't I pronounce that right?
is interviewing Andy in the court. Andy says, no, Jacob hasn't been on the cutting room, etc. after Derek tells them about it. And I'm just like, wait, so are they not gonna instill the cutting room? So I'm still a little confused on that part, like exactly if they're gonna do it. I really hope they do, because the cutting room was one of the most surprising factors of the book. I think it's very important to be put into this. So we're gonna see if they decide to dive into that or not. They don't really dive into it that much in this episode, so we'll see. But the cutting room is where this book had me nauseous. This is where we're gonna see if they're completely going to change that storyline and Jacob's character, because Jacob in the book is, like I said, different, if not completely different. He's really different. The cutting room is a big part of like who Jacob is, and when we start leaning towards if he did it or not, because of all these things that start coming out. Now, speaking of the cutting room, after Andy chops the tire of Derek's mom, when he did that, I was like, well then, sir. He goes and meets Derek at lacrosse practice. If you read the book, a lot goes down. Morton really wants to build off that suspense. Not everything is going to be answered right away, obviously, but I do love how they did that dialogue with Derek and Andy. So hats off to both those actors, both Chris Evans and the guy who plays Derek, because they did a really good job. I just love that back and forth play that they did. So really well done how they did that scene. But in the book, he actually meets Derek at his house when his parents aren't home. So there's a lot of differences, and obviously you don't know all the information. I'm just still on edge because I know exactly what Derek tells him, because there's more to that. So we're gonna see if Morton dives into that. The Sarah plotline is the biggest one that got me like, oh, this is not in the book. This is not whatsoever about her and Ben being a thing, well, a thing. But then the whole nude pictures came out and everything, and I'm just like, what the freaking heck? And this scares me yet excites me, because Morton is gonna take this in a different route. I'm so excited to see what he's gonna do, because this is hella new information. Ben's phone, this is all different, and it's interesting because we're gonna see probably new plot lines coming up. So this is again another example of adapting the book but then adding his own spice, and so far not bad. I do have little minor criticisms with episode 5. J.K. Simmons is the perfect Billy Barber. Okay, this is great. That whole scene that he had with Evans just is great. The only thing is that the screenplay here really kind of in a way differentiated Billy's attitude and demeanor. Now, yes, he's an intimidating man. He has no morals. There's some sentences that's in the book that's pasted onto the screenplay that I loved. I just wish the atmosphere was a little bit more different. I don't know how to explain this without spoiling some stuff from the book. But for me, that scene, I feel like I needed something more. I needed a little bit more characteristics coming into play, coming off of Billy and Andy as well. But I mean, overall, it still did justice. J.K. Simmons, no matter what, still brought a really great act into being Billy, so hats off to that, honestly. If you guys love this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hated it, give it a thumbs down. Liked it more than a thumbs up. Press the red subscribe button. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will see you all next video. Next Friday, here we come. The countdown starts now.